two supreme devils, two rulers of absolute despair, but only one sits at the peak of demonic power. In Black Clover, Lucifero is the god of gravity, the king of devils, and ruler of the underworld, whose presence alone crushes the world beneath him. Meanwhile, in Seven Deadly Sins, the Demon King is the god of all demons and the creator and ruler of the demon realm, wielding power that bends reality and laws to his will. But what happens when we put these two kings of hell head to head? Whose magic is stronger, and who truly embodies the title of the ultimate demon? So in this video, I'll be comparing their feats, scaling, lure, and raw destructive power. When it comes down to their scaling, Lucifero isn't a DC merchant, he's more of an AP and hand-to-hand merchant. With him being at 12.5% of his power, he was able to dog walk Devil Union Asta and all of the captains casually. And the reason why I say he was at 12.5% of his power at the time is because later on in his fight, he was able to clash with his power that was doubled by Zoro's trap magic hacks, which then after that he eventually goes all out and opens his third eye, which we already know his full power cap is 50%. So we divide his full power by 2, assuming his transformation is a 2 times amp, and since we already know that his initial attack by Zoro was doubled, we can then divide that 25% by 2, which is 12.5%. This is all important because we see Comrade using his ultimate attack, which summons a giant meteor, by sacrificing his life. This spell was stated that it could destroy the world, which you can interpret it as just life wiping, but I don't want to seem like I'm lowballing, so let's just say it would destroy the planet if Asta didn't stop it. This can be calculated to be 2.2 times 10 to the 32 joules, which is 88.46% baseline planetary, which even if you want to say 50% Lucifero is 400 times stronger than that would only make him large planetary level, or 8.8 times 10 to the 34 joules. This is better than Lucifero's life-wiping statements as depicted when Noct said Lucifero can destroy the world, and Lucifero himself saying that he will destroy all of humanity. But this is more so him going country to country or city to city and destroying it, rather than him just obliterating the world or life-wiping in one attack, as we see his gravity's range not being the entire world, but being just a large portion of a certain area. Compare that to the behemoth screaming so hard that it could destroy the demon world. Even it just waking up was shaking the entire demon realm. Even if we lowball and ignore the stars and moon and the sunrise and say it was just going to destroy the planet, the energy emitted to pulverize the planet using sound alone is 1.134 times 10 to the 39 joules, or dwarf star level, which the 50% Demon King no-diffed it, making him dwarf star level at 50%. This is also consistent when you factor in that just Demon King levels of power being too great for the world to handle. You can also argue there are higher metas, although I don't personally agree with the universal Black Clover meta, as I've already explained why I disagree in my video on the topic, and I'm still not convinced due to the lack of evidence, consistency, feats, and statements. With world-ending or life-wiping power is still impressive for the top tiers, which simply wouldn't be the case if Yami can supposedly destroy a infinite space in a filler episode, assuming that space was infinite at the time. Since Dorothy can control how big her space is, which is why it is possible for it to be infinite, But even if we ignore the inconsistencies, you could argue the tree of Cliff-Off is a universal-sized tree due to Nox's depiction, even though I have no idea how they could confirm this. Let's just say the tree of Cliff-Off spell that is only meant to connect worlds is actually a universal-sized tree. 50% Lucifero can use with this spell to speed up his manifestation process. But if we say all these things for Black Clover and assume spells scales to you because it's you using your magic to a unknown extent, then shoutouts to Universal Season 1 Merlin, as she was born with infinite magic power and has an endless supply of magic power, and has a spell called Infinity, which allows her to make anything last forever regardless, just like the Magic Lake, who was also stated to have limitless or endless amounts of magic power, which would make the Demon King even more powerful than Lucifero if we use the same logic. When it comes down to speed, the Demon King and Lucifero should be somewhat relative, as both of their verses become light speed in the 50ish chapters, with Patri being stated to be light speed, which you can go crazy with the multipliers from there. Although I don't really recommend you doing this, you can use the Morgan statement and say he's just light speed, and then just say Lucifero isn't even light speed. But you can't say the same thing for 7 Deadly Sins, as Ludishel is stated to move at the speed of light in a Q&A, in which Commandmentless Zeldris can keep up with this Ludishel. Then you can go from there with the multipliers. Or you can argue goddesses being able to blast out arc beams, which is stated to be photons, and baby celestials being able to use these photon beams attack, and baby red demons being comparable to Percival and the Squad, with the same Percival and the Squad being comparable to Fiddish, who was also stated to be light speed in the side text, which would make sense since adult red demons do fight goddesses, and if they aren't fast enough, they would get deleted by a arc beam or any arc attack. And a Ban, before he joined the 7 Deadly Sins group, he was able to fight a red demon. Or you could argue Gother's light being light speed, as stated to be actual light in a data book. I'm not going to go into like if the Demon King is faster or if Lucifero, since I would have to go into multipliers and it would just make the video longer than necessary. So for this video, I'll just say they are relative, with you choosing who is faster, which I don't think speed plays a factor in this fight. As for abilities, Lucifero just has gravity manipulation, which he can amp his physical attacks. He also has AoE attacks called Presence of the Demon King, which is just increasing the gravity in a certain area. He can also warp space to teleport, and that's all he really has besides flight, as he hasn't really shown to be able to use any other spells besides these. As someone being the King of Devils, he doesn't really have much of a bag to go with. The Demon King is the complete opposite of Lucifero, as he has a lot in his bag, but I'll only name the ones that is useful. The Demon King has 2 innate magics. The first one is the Ruler, which reverses the effects of any magic attacks and weakening maneuvers, but if you have any healing abilities, you can harm him if he doesn't turn off the Ruler. His second innate ability is called the Demon King Power, or what the fandom calls it, God, which grants the user immunity to all magic abilities. This power was granted to Zeldris, but then taken back by the Demon King. The Demon King also has demon abilities such as non-magical darkness, as it can be used without magic, and it has been full countered by physical full counter. With darkness, the Demon King has godly regeneration, as shown by weaker demons being able to regenerate from arc, which erases your mind, body, soul, and magic. And with darkness, he has power nullification. He also has soul manipulation and destruction, as all demons have this ability to extract souls and eat them. They can also physically interact with them, which is a form of durability negation. He also has Hellblaze, which can negate regeneration of immortals like Bond, who can regenerate from a puddle of blood. He also has nature manipulation, as shown in Purgatory, and when he was possessing Meliodas' body, he created a purgatory-like storm by flexing his eyes. He also has magic absorption, curse manipulation, fate manipulation, and law manipulation. He cursed Elizabeth to be fated to die in 3 days once she regains her memories and is reborn every time she dies. And he created the commandment curses, which are laws that can't be broken, and if you break them, you will be cursed. He also has conceptual destruction, as he says he should have destroyed Meliodas' emotions, which emotions are abstract concepts, which is also a form of durability negation. He also has death manipulation, like Grey Demons, but in a form of mist. And he has miasma, which destroys the mind, body, and soul. And that's all I'll say for the Demon King. He does have a lot more, but it's just not needed. With all that said and done, who would win? And honestly, I don't see any way for Lucifero to win, even if we were to give him the speed advantage by 1,000 times and equalize AP. There is still no way for Lucifero to harm the Demon King, as he is immune to magic and has the ruler, which would just make him stronger and lighter because of presence of the Demon King, which would allow him to also move faster than normal. And we have seen how Lucifero deals with someone who can negate his magic, as we see him acknowledge that True Devil Union Asta is negating his magic on contact, and yet all he does is try hitting him even more. And it seems Lucifero isn't a competent fighter and tries to brute force everything. He also has no way to bypass God nor the ruler, and eventually he will just wear himself out. And if the Demon King lands one hit, Lucifero is cooked. And if the Demon King uses his miasma, which destroys the mind, body, and soul, there's nothing he can do besides run away. And without equal AP or the speed advantage, he gets outpowered and out-hacked, and his regen would just get negated by Hellblaze. So he would just die regardless if his heart is unharmed. But that's what I think would happen, and also why I think speed isn't a factor, as the Demon King could just sit there and wait for a fly to tire himself out and then just one-shot him. Or he can just create a purgatory-like weather, which would cook Lucifero, as he hasn't really shown any resistance of that kind or caliber. But tell me what you guys think on this matchup, and also I did finish making my Discord server, so do join, and if you want to, you can debate me on any of my videos. The link to the Discord is in the description, and also there are going to be translated Curse by Light in my Discord, and there will also be screenshots of Bleach Can't Fear Your Own World from book 1 to 3 if you guys can't access that novel, or you just don't want to buy it, read whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and until next time, peace.